Hi, my name is Tracy Bish. I am a Pilates instructor, an energy healer, a photographer, an artist, and a lover of the earth. And today I'm coming to chat with you about making a dream board. So making a dream board is one of my favorite things to do in the wintertime. It is a great time to make one because winter is the time of dreaming. So I like to dream my dream for like the next year. So today I'm going to start my process of making my 2020 dream board. Now, I really like dream boards to help manifest and clue me into different things that my higher self might like to accomplish this year. So there are things that will pop up on my board that I don't understand, but I just allow it to be there and see what becomes of it. So to start your dream board, I personally like to use a 16 by 20 art board. So it's a little firmer and it can stand on its own. So if you lean it up against the wall or something like that, it will hold up. You could also use foam core or poster board. It can be any size you want or any color you want. So I use white. You could also paint your board. You could write words on it before you put your images on it. So you could write like your intentions for the year. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. You'll also need a glue stick or rubber cement and scissors. And for your dream board, you'll want to have a bunch of magazines available because you're going to rip pictures out. So if you don't have a lot of magazines around, you can go to your local library or thrift store. Sometimes they have magazines that you can purchase for very inexpensively, like our library has them for 10 cents each, or you can ask your friends and family because most people have a bunch of magazines laying around. So I like to start my process off by setting the intention to do the dream board for 2020. And then I also like to start with a little bit of a meditation to set me into a good space. So if you have a favorite meditation, you can do that. I like to do an earth sky breath, which you can look that up on a YouTube channel and you could find that. So that's when you're just connecting down to the earth and then you're reaching up to the sky and just balancing your energy. You can also just, maybe do 5 really deep, very slow breaths just to center yourself. I also encourage you not to drink wine or any type of alcohol. I know there are dream board parties that people get together and they have a glass of wine and then they do their dream board. I don't encourage that because I think this is a really sacred act and you lose clarity when you drink alcohol or do any type of drugs. So I encourage you not to do those things when you're making your board because we want clarity and to be able to touch our inner innate wisdom because there are so many parts of ourselves that know so much. So in order to access that, it's good to be clear. So after you've gotten your pile of magazines, you are going to take your magazines and then you're just going to look through them and then you're just going to start ripping out photos. So if you rip out, you're looking for photos that pique your interest, you're looking for words, you're just ripping them out and just putting them in a pile. There's not a lot of thought in this. You're just ripping and putting in a pile. You may have an idea of what you want to do, but you can look for those photos, but be open to finding photos that aren't necessarily what you would think that you want on your board. You're just intuitively going to rip out words and photos, and then you're going to put them in a pile. Do not get caught up on the photo, like the photo is not of you. So on my boards, I don't look at the person that's in the photo. So sometimes I have pictures of men on my board, but they're a representation of me. So I can't see his face. He's like drawing art. I really like that photo because it was like somebody making art out in nature. Like that's what I wanted on my board, so that's what I put on my board. I also have people of color. I have older women, I have younger women, I have children. That can be all those things are representational of me. Now, if that's something I'm wanting to manifest, like say, I wanted to manifest like a family, like I'm going to put that on my board. So try not to get too attached to the person in the image, and just rip out what you feel drawn to. So after you've gotten a pile of photos, or I should say magazine clippings, you're going to go through and you're going to cut out all those images and words, and then you're going to put them in a big pile. Now, don't worry about the number of images that you have. Just cut out as many as you want. I have a huge pile. It's huge. And I'm going to go through them, and I'm just going to place what I feel is that I want on my board. And there's going to be a lot of images left over, and I may or may not take an image off and exchange it. I like to do this process over a few days, so don't be in a rush to get it done in one day. I spend sometimes like 2-3 a week doing this process, because I'm dreaming my dream for this next year. Now your board can be on anything. It could be on like say 2020, like I'm doing. It can be on work. Say maybe you want to switch your career and you are going to do a board on work, like what you want to manifest with your work. Now, you may not want a 16 by 20 board. Maybe you want like a small 8 by 10 board that you can put in a frame and put on your desk. It can be anything you want. So you can do a decade board for the next 10 years. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish the next 5 years? The possibilities are endless. So this is the first step on the board process, and I'm going to make another video on putting it all down and giving you some examples of my board. So for right now, go ahead and go through your magazines and start ripping away. And then another thing that I like to do is I don't like to have magazines laying around my house. So throughout the year, I rip out photos and words that I may like to have at a later date on a board, and I just put them either in a big manila envelope, or I put them in a Rubbermaid plastic container that size for like a magazine size, and I just accumulate them that way, so I don't have a ton of magazines laying around. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.